So now what we're going to do is we're going to go through your history, and then I'm going to take your history and we're going to correlate that to your exam. For example, if we see a shoulder high, that's an example of a locking of the vertebrae. We see the head forward, that's an example of that chronic pulling and tension on the spinal cord. So let's go ahead and do your exam. Okay, now we're going to start with your spinal exam. What I'd like you to do is close your eyes, march in place, and look straight ahead. The first thing I see is that your head is tilted to the left, rotated to the right, and your right shoulder is high, okay? Now that shoulder being high and the tilt of your head is an example of locking of the vertebrae. So that's an example of an impact that your body didn't recover from, okay? And then we also see a left hip high. Let's have you face this way. Okay, now here's your shoulder and here's your ear. And there's actually about 4 inches forward, okay? With every inch forward of the head, you add 20 pounds to the weight of your head with gravity. And so where you're carrying that stress is right here in your mid-back, and that's where you mentioned you had pain chronically, okay? So with every inch you add 20 pounds to your approximately 20-pound head, so it's like carrying 100 pound of weight or a 100-pound bowling ball with this one vertebrae all the time. Your head is meant to be right back here over your shoulders and balanced, and be that weight being carried in the pelvis where you can carry the weight of the head more effectively. Now with that head being forward, that's indicative of chronic spinal cord tension, because otherwise the head would be right over the shoulders, but your body went into that fight or flight and stayed stuck like that. Now remember, we talked about brain up in the skull, spinal cord runs in between the vertebrae, and then the nerves come all the way down, and we feel the tension in the spinal cord kind of like a marionette puppet string. If you elongate the spinal cord, we're going to feel it down here at the Achilles tendon in this direction. If we torque it, we're going to feel it in this direction, 0 being none and 5 being the worst. Now what's significant is you have a left short leg of about 1/2 to 3/4 of an inch, okay? 90% of the brain's energy goes to keeping you walking straight. So if you're always walking on that short leg, the brain's energy's got to go to focus to keeping you just walking and balancing. And then the 10% that runs your digestion and all the functioning of the organs, that energy is taken away from, and we start to see the body in that chronic fight or flight, difficulty sleeping at night or getting to sleep, digestive problems, and overall dysfunctioning starting to happen in the body.